Hello, wonderful students. Myself, Dr. Maddineni Srinivas, your dermatology faculty from Bharat, discussing dermatology related everything in my channel. So, if you are new to this, please do subscribe. And this today's topic is secondary syphilis, which was a theory question for the final year MBBS students asked if from MGR University. So, here you are able to see this is the question. Secondary syphilis, and also I have discussed various other topics which are available in my YouTube channel. The links I will leave it in the description box below. So coming to the topic per se, secondary syphilis, I hope all of you know syphilis is caused by Treponema pallidum, which is a spirochete, and it is initially going to produce primary syphilis, which will manifest as a genital ulcer and inguinal lymphadenopathy, both of which are painless, and the treatment is very simple with injection penethin penicillin. And I hope all of you know what is the investigation of choice for this. So it is going to be the dark ground illumination. So this is known for all of you. Just if the examiner asks you clinical features of secondary syphilis, give this basic introduction just just before writing what are the clinical features, so that examiner will understand that this student knows this topic well. Okay, then start the topic per se. Clinical features of secondary syphilis and how does it manifest? It can manifest with systemic as well as mucocutaneous manifestations. So first let's discuss about what are the skin lesions which will be seen. So remember, any kind of skin lesion can be seen in the secondary syphilis. This is also called as the great imitator. Great imitator. This is going to imitate like so many other diseases. So that is important from you for dermatology. PG is not for you. Just remember, this is a great imitator. Great imitator syphilis, secondary syphilis specifically. And any kind of lesion can be present in the patients, except for secondary syphilis will not show the vesiculobullous lesions. There will not be any fluid filled lesions except for vesiculobullous lesions. Patients can have macules, patches, papules, papillosquamous lesions, pustular lesions. There can be redness, there can be hypopigmentation, there can be hyperpigmentation. Anything can occur except for the vesiculobullous lesions. But the most common lesion which is seen initially is a macular rash, which is bilaterally symmetrical, and it is present mainly over the trunk and also over the proximal extremities, and it will not be having any kind of a symptom, no itching, no pain, nothing. And slowly what happens, there can be papillary lesions developing, and also papillosquamous lesions also can develop at the same site. Even it can be pustular lesion. So like I have told you, any kind of a lesion can occur except for the vesiculobullous lesions. Very important for you to remember. So next is a mucocutaneous manifestation. So in this you can see the warm and the moist areas. Like for example, it can be genital mucosa, oral mucosa can have these condyloma lata lesions. Very, very important buzzword. Highlight this and underline this in the exam if it comes, where the patients are going to have moist pink gray white lesions which are highly infective lesions. They are highly infectious lesions. If you are trying to examine these patients who are you are suspecting to be secondary syphilis, you should be very, very careful. And these are usually seen commonly in the perianal area, vulva, and over the scrotum. Okay, so these are called as condyloma lata. Remember, there is one more term which is called as condyloma acuminata. Very important from MCQ exam point of view. Condyloma acuminata, it is a viral infection due to human papilloma virus. So remember, condyloma acuminata and condyloma lata are different words. Okay, next is the mucosal lesion, mucus patches. So the patients can develop the erosions which can occur over the lips. It can be present in the palate, oral mucosa, buccal mucosa, tongue, pharynx, vulva, genital mucosa, anywhere over the mucosal areas. If you are able to see erosions, you can just remember, or you can write down in the theory question about the mucous patches which are very characteristic of the secondary syphilis. There is one more term which you can remember. It is called as snail track ulcers. Snail track ulcers, just write down. Snail track ulcers can be seen in the mucosa of patients who are having secondary syphilis. One more finding in the hair is going to be the presence of the patchy alopecia. So in the form of small patches, there is going to be loss of the hair, and this patchy alopecia, it is called as moth-eaten alopecia. Very characteristic term which you need to remember, moth-eaten alopecia. So these are also important for you to write in the examination: moth-eaten alopecia, hair loss, and snail track ulcers. So if in this video you find anywhere that you are having some value related to dermatology, please do hit that like button, and also do subscribe if you are not yet subscribed. And remember, generalized lymphadenopathy can occur in the patients of the secondary syphilis, where the lymphadenopathy will also be painless. Everything is painless and symptomless in the patients of syphilis, simply to remember. And there can be constitutional symptoms. Patient can have fever, arthralgia, myalgia, weight loss, nausea, vomiting, headache, anorexia. All this can be seen. And what are all the causes for generalized lymphadenopathy from dermatology exam point of view? So in the infections, remember, secondary syphilis, HIV, and leishmaniasis are important causes. And the connective tissue diseases, you can remember systemic lupus erythematosus and sarcoidosis. These are the important causes for generalized lymphadenopathy in the patients. Coming to the systemic manifestations, yes, not only mucocutaneous but systemic manifestations can also occur. That is inflammation of the meninges, inflammation of the liver. So nephropathy can occur, inflammation of the joints, arthritis, arthropathy, periosteoitis. Even the eye can be involved, iritis and uveitis. So remember, secondary syphilis, the lesions can range from simple macular lesions to the involvement of the systems, and it is very highly infectious. And if you can remember from your microbiology knowledge, what is the investigation of the choice in the patients of secondary syphilis? Put your answer in the comments. What is the investigation of choice in secondary syphilis, and what is the investigation of choice in the primary syphilis? I hope all of you do remember that it is dark ground microscopy. Okay. And this secondary syphilis, if it is treated with injection pens and penicillin, there ends the matter. But if it is untreated, it can progress to the tertiary stage, where there can be CNS involvement and also the cardiac involvement occurring in the patients. Okay, so that's why early diagnosis and treatment are very important. So that's the reason why you should know about the clinical features. That is where the theory exam, they are asking you this question. So I hope this video was helpful. If it was helpful, please do hit that like button. And these are all my channels and groups. They are available. The links are available in the description, also comments. You can join them and immediately try to discuss these topics with your friends from any of these sources related to dermatology. And yeah, again, once again, please do not forget to like this video and also do subscribe to this channel. And if you have any more doubts, you can put those doubts in the comment section below. I hope this video was helpful. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, happy learning. Sarvam Sri Krishna Pranam Sarve Jana Sukhina Bhavantu. Bye bye.